your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today I'm going to be talking about how physical can be fixed in Genshin Impact. By the way, if you happen to like the content, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It'd be greatly appreciated. So we all know that physical in Genshin Impact is very bad, and I find this really surprising because in miHoYoverse's other games, physical in those games are actually very good. In Genshin Impact 3rd, physical is treated as an element along with ice, fire, and electricity. Physical in that game is just really good because there's just physical characters that just deal damage, and there's a lot of physical supports that are just generally good. Same thing in Star Rail. Physical is just good because the physical characters deal decent damage. Not to mention there are enemies in Star Rail that are weak to physical, so you need physical to break their shields. So physical is good in other miHoYoverse games, but in Genshin Impact it's just very shit. For one thing, in Genshin Impact, physical is not even treated as like a traditional element like in Genshin Impact or in Genshin Star Rail. For whatever reason, those games have a hard-on for physical to the point where it's like its own like element. You got fire, ice, electricity, and then physical, which is kind of weird. So if physical is good in other miHoYoverse games, why is it bad in Genshin Impact? For one thing, in Genshin's Abyss more particularly, there's a lot of Ruin Guard enemies, and those enemies have super high physical resistance to the point where super conduct is not even that useful against them, and using other elemental reactions is just generally better since those Ruin Guards are not resistant to the other elements. So the amount of Ruin Guard enemies in the Abyss basically ruin physical because they just have super high physical defense. One way that they could technically buff physical is maybe nerf the physical resistance of the Ruin Guards, but that would be kind of a pussy way to do it. I mean, just imagine if miHoYoverse really did nerf the physical resistance of the Ruin Guards. Eula mains would be the laughingstock of the Genshin community. I don't think that would be an acceptable ideal to nerf the physical resistance of the Ruin Guards. Super Conduct is the only reaction in the game that deals with physical. Whenever you do Super Conduct, the enemy's physical resistance will go down for a few seconds. Buffing the Super Conduct reaction might be a more better option that miHoYoverse can do to buff physical. Maybe they can have Super Conduct have like a bleeding mechanic to the enemies, or like a damage over time to the enemies. In other miHoYoverse games, physical tends to have like a bleeding effect, so I don't know why Genshin doesn't have that with the physical in this game. Or maybe they could just have Super Conduct lower the defense of the enemies. I do believe that like in the Genshin CBT, Super Conduct actually used to do that, but I think they got rid of it because it made Lisa like super duper powerful, and miHoYoverse wouldn't want that because, you know, everyone would just be using Lisa instead of pulling for new characters. Maybe just have Super Conduct lower the physical resistance even lower. Either way, I do think buffing the Super Conduct reaction will be a pretty good move, and buffing physical. Another thing miHoYoverse can do is maybe add an artifact set that helps with physical, or an artifact set that helps with the Super Conduct effect, because we don't have any artifact sets that deal in Super Conduct in any way. I remember way back in the day, and I'm talking about way back in the day, I'm talking about maybe like around Dragon Spine era, there was an artifact set that was supposed to deal with Super Conduct, but miHoYoverse never released this set. It was said that this set was supposed to be released along with Dragon Spine, and it made sense because the artifact set was called like Glacier and Snowfield. The 2-piece set would increase cryo damage by 15%, and the 4-piece set will increase Super Conduct damage by 100% and melt damage by 15%. Using an elemental burst increases cryo damage bonus by 30% for 10 seconds. So this set was leaked, but it was just never released. It's basically like deep in the basement at this point. I don't know why miHoYoverse decided to not release this set. I think maybe this set probably could have helped with physical. This set could have been the best in slot for Eula because it does increase cryo damage and it does increase Super Conduct damage, but we just never got this set for whatever reason. So who really knows if we're ever going to get this set to come out, or if maybe we're ever going to get a Super Conduct set at all. This was leaked like a long ass time ago and we still haven't gotten it today, so we're most likely never going to get this set. Physical might not even ever receive a buff ever, because if miHoYoverse didn't bother to release this set, that basically tells me that they don't give a shit about physical. I really don't think that physical will ever get a buff. This video is just kind of copium, but you know, who knows? Maybe miHoYoverse might buff physical, but honestly, in my opinion, I don't think they gave a flying fuck about physical. It's already confirmed that Eula is going to have a rerun in 3.8, and we have no drip marketing for the next character in 3.8. So that basically means that they're going to rerun Eula in 3.8, but they're not going to release a new physical support that could help Eula and physical in general. By the way, which is kind of the last thing that Hoyoverse can do in order to buff physical, is maybe release a 5-star support, or maybe not even a 5-star support, maybe even like a 4-star support that's Bennett tier that basically deals in physical. We all thought that Mika would be the one, but we were kind of wrong. He's not the one. This character, if we ever do get one, will not only just buff physical, they'll buff Eula, they'll buff Xinyan, they'll buff Razor, they'll buff Rosaria. Any character with just basic attacks with no infusion in their kits, they will basically get a buff if this physical support ever comes out. Yeah, that's just basically it. That's really all that I can think of how we can fix physical. I don't think that Hoyoverse will ever do this, but you know, who knows. That's going to be the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.